are we recording? Can you hear me? Okay. I just want to do a little overview about some of this printmaking I'm doing. The objective is to print white ink on black paper like this, and to make an edition like that. What I'm doing is I carved an image out of some, in some cases, very flexible linoleum. I have some thicker linoleum over there, but I also have this linoleum I quite like, which is transparent. That way I can do a drawing that I can just cut on top of it. See how that is? It's actually transparent. That's my favorite. It also feels better when I'm printing it. I have one of these transparent plates over here right now. And what I'm going to do is just go through the process. Let's see. So, first I take white ink. It's very important that the white ink is a little bit gooey and thick. I tried doing this before. I put this onto an inking plate like that. I tried doing it before with really liquefied white ink, and it never works. It comes out, it's too translucent, and the images are kind of gray. So this, I'm just going to spread it out on my roller, my brayer, which is the proper word for that. Get that out of the way so maybe you can see a little bit better. Here's my image, and what I do is cover the whole thing like that. I'm using a wide roller, and I'm going to use a smaller roller to get some of the other areas that maybe I don't really get so well. You can always tell the plate looks very, it's transparent. You can see where the ink is residual from the last printing to this one. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll get the smaller one now because I can see some gray areas. I want to make sure that the whole thing is covered. None of these prints come out exactly the same. They all look really different. Let's see. Like this, like that. And like this, and like that. Because I know this guy over here, he's going to look a little bit gray. My objective is to have pretty good contrast with these before deciding which ones will be in the edition and which ones I'm just going to toss out. Or maybe make into artist proofs, perhaps. Here we go. I think that should be good. Let's see. All right. So a little bit more. And voila. Now, to make sure there's no residual ink along the... I have this tape over here for registration. I'm not sure you can see that, but it's kind of irrelevant. I need it whenever I see it. I have to take this black paper. I'm using this paper. It's called Art Again. It's actually recycled black paper. But I really like it because it's very, very dark. I'm going to hold it over my plate like this. And I'm going to line it up and voila. First, I go like this with my hand and make sure that each plate, I think the warmth of my hand actually probably helps a little bit. And I'm going to take a peek. And it looks okay, but I'm going to get the burnisher. Where the heck is that? Oh yeah. I'm going to get this thing. And this helps me. I burnish it down a little bit because not all areas came out good. And sometimes this can be very time consuming. But I want each one to be just right. I used to just run these things off. And I was always frustrated because I had less control. But this way, I feel I have more control. I look on both sides. And voila. Oof. J'espère ça se plaît. Tout de suite. Oh la la. Excuse me, I speak French very badly. This one. Now I see a little section over here that's just not picking up ink. So I'm going to go and just take a little bit more, put a little bit more into that corner. And I know it's cheating a little bit, but I don't really care. And I'm going to go like this. And Voila. Let's see. All right, that's good. That's okay. What's good about when the ink is nice and thick and sticky, it's much more solid, it's much more opaque against the black paper. And it also, you can do things, you can lift it up. If the ink is really sticking, it's clinging to the paper, you can lift it up a little bit, burnish it, and put it back down, and it's perfect. It just stays in the perfect zone. All right, there's always a chance that this will look horrible. This one I think is okay. All right, I lift it up from both sides because sometimes I get this mark of ink on the paper if I don't do it correctly. All right. Yeah, you see it first. You like it? Hey, you like it? Anyway, that's how I'm doing this, and that's what I've been doing all the time here in my crashed spaceship.